It's funny how a single post on a neighborhood app, racking up 92 likes, can turn you into the most hated guy on the block. I'm just a dude who shared some before and after pics of my yard cleanup, thinking I'd made a few friends in my new place, Willow Creek Pines, on the edge of Raleigh. But to Linda Grayson, the queen bee of our HOA, that post was like waving a red flag in front of a bull, and her weapon of choice? Smashing my trash cans with her shiny white Escalade every Wednesday morning. Like clockwork. Hey, I'm Ethan Brooks, 34, a web developer who thought moving to this fancy gated community would be my ticket to suburban bliss. Nice lawns, friendly faces, maybe a barbecue or two. I'd spent weeks fixing up the jungle of a yard the previous owners left behind, and when I posted those pics on our community app, captioned "New Guy, New Yard, Loving Willow Creek," I was floored by the response. 92 likes, 28 comments, folks I'd never met saying welcome and great job. Mrs. Delaney from down the street invited me to her book club, and the Parkers offered to lend me their hedge trimmer. For a moment, I felt like I belonged. What I didn't know was that Linda, across the cul-de-sac, was watching those likes pile up, her fingers twitching over her phone, her blood pressure spiking with every notification. Linda was 41, divorced, living in the biggest house on Sycamore Lane. And she'd been the HOA's standards coordinator for 4 years, basically the neighborhood's self-proclaimed sheriff. She posted daily on the app, reminders about mailbox colors, warnings about unapproved flower beds, tips on proper curb appeal. Her posts usually got a handful of likes from her loyal fan club, maybe 6 or 7 at most. My yard post? It blew her entire year's engagement out of the water in one afternoon. To her, I wasn't just the new guy. I was a threat to her little empire. The first time she hit my trash cans, I genuinely thought it was an accident. Wednesday morning, 7:15 sharp, I'm sipping coffee in my kitchen when, BM, I hear plastic crunching and garbage flying. I run outside, and there's my bin. Flipped over, coffee grounds and pizza boxes everywhere, with Linda's Escalade idling 20 feet away. She rolls down her window, all fake concern, and goes, "Oh, Ethan, so sorry. Maybe don't put your bins so close to the street next time." I'm nodding like an idiot, thinking I screwed up, saying, "My bad, I'll fix it," while picking up soggy paper towels. She just watches, doesn't lift a finger, then drives off. My neighbor, Tom Hargrove, a 60-year-old retired mechanic with a security camera obsession, leans over his fence, coffee mug in hand, and mutters, "Kid, that wasn't an accident. She's been gunning for you since your post went viral." I checked the HOA rules that night. My bins were exactly 18 inches from the curb, per the handbook. 3 days later, it happens again. I'm watching from my living room this time, and I see her Escalade creep down the street, slow, deliberate, then, wham, she swerves right into my bin. Sends it spinning like a top. Garbage everywhere. And there's Linda, hopping out with her phone, snapping pics like she's at a crime scene. I step outside, still in my sweatpants, and she looks up, smirking for a split second before switching to this fake worried face. "Ethan, this is becoming a safety issue," she says, still photographing my trash. "We can't have bins blocking the commute." I'm standing there, holding a mug that says "World's Okayest Coder," trying not to lose it, and I say, "Pretty sure they're placed right, Linda, but I'll double check." That afternoon, she posts the pics on the app, another mess on Sycamore Lane. "Let's keep our streets safe, neighbors." It gets 18 likes, and I'm starting to feel like the neighborhood pariah. Tom swings by that evening with a USB drive and a grin. "Got her on camera, Ethan. She's not just clumsy, she's targeting you." His footage shows her slowing down, scanning for my bin, then speeding up just before impact. It's deliberate, no question. He leans in, voice low, and says, "Linda's been trying to be the neighborhood influencer forever. Your 92 likes? That's her worst nightmare. She's turning your trash into her content." That's when it clicks. She's not just mad. She's farming drama to claw back her spotlight. The third crash is a week later. And I'm ready. I've got my phone out, filming from the porch. Linda's routine is like a bad movie. Slow cruise, quick scan, then crash. My bin goes flying, landing in Mrs. Delaney's rose bushes. Garbage paints the street. Eggshells, yogurt cups, you name it. Linda's out of her car in seconds, phone in hand, live streaming like she's CNN. "Another safety hazard on Sycamore Lane," she narrates. crouching next to a banana peel like it's evidence. I'm filming her filming my trash, and when she spots me, she waves, all cheery, and calls out, "Ethan, we'll need to talk bin placement at the next HOA meeting." Tom's watching from his window, nearly choking on his coffee, and yells, "She's posing with your garbage like it's a trophy." Things escalate when Linda decides my yard needs a safety audit. I come home one day to find her in my driveway, wearing a neon vest and safety goggles, holding a clipboard like she's from the city. She set up orange cones around my bins and stuck a sign in my grass, "Hazard Zone, Inspection in Progress." She's live streaming, talking about recurring violations and measuring my curb with a tape measure. I step out, trying to stay calm, and say, "Linda, what's going on here?" She adjusts her goggles, all serious, and goes, "Ethan, this property has systemic issues. I'm documenting for the HOA." Tom's at his fence, hollering, "If she starts testing your soil pH, I'm calling the feds." It's absurd, but it gets worse. A kid, 9-year-old Sammy Park, chases his soccer ball into my yard, right into Linda's hazard zone. He freezes, confused by the cones, and Linda swings her camera toward him, saying, "This is why we need compliance. Kids are at risk." Sammy's mom, Jenny Park, storms over, eyes blazing, and snaps, "Why are you filming my kid? Delete that now." Linda doubles down, saying, "I'm documenting dangers to neighborhood youth." Jenny steps closer, voice like ice, and says, "The only danger here is you scaring my son." Back off. Linda's livestream, with its whopping 8 viewers, starts filling with question marks. Even her fans are confused. By now, I'm done playing nice. I'm a coder. I know how algorithms work, how to make content pop, how to shift a narrative. Linda wants drama? Fine, I'll give her a show, but on my terms. The next crash, I'm ready with 3 cameras, one on my porch, one in my window, one hidden in a bush. She does her usual, slow roll, quick swerve, bam, and my bin's toast. But this time, I've got her face on video, smirking as she hits it. She spends 20 minutes photographing the mess, oblivious to Mrs. Parker watching from her yard, taking her own video. That night, I post my first countermove, a montage called Sycamore Lane Parking Adventures. It's all Linda, blocking 2 spaces at the coffee shop, parking over the line at the grocery store, even blocking a fire hydrant while snapping selfies. I set it to goofy music, keep it light, and caption it, "We've all had our parking struggles, right?" It's not about trash cans, it's just funny. By morning, it's got 53 likes and 15 comments. Neighbors laughing about their own parking woes. Linda's furious, posts a rant about harassment and privacy invasions, but it only gets 9 likes. She's losing her grip. I keep the pressure on with a neighbor spotlight series. Instead of whining about rules, I post about Mrs. Delaney's amazing herb garden, the Parkers' epic Halloween setup, Tom's volunteer work fixing kids' bikes. Each post gets 30, 40 likes, and the app starts feeling like a community again, not Linda's personal complaint box. She tries to copy me, posting her own community excellence stuff, but it's stiff, forced, and barely gets traction. Meanwhile, her crashes are getting sloppier. One time, she hits my bin so hard it dents my car's bumper. Neighbors come out, grumbling, and she tries to spin it. I swerve to avoid an obstruction, but Tom's footage shows her gunning for it, and people aren't buying her story anymore. The turning point comes when Linda calls 911 after another crash, claiming my bin's a traffic hazard. Officer Daniels shows up, takes one look at her setup, cones, measuring tape, even a drone buzzing overhead, and sighs. She launches into a 15-minute speech about roadway obstructions, but Daniels cuts her off. "Ma'am, this is an HOA issue, not a police emergency. Stop calling 911 for trash cans." He reviews Tom's footage, sees her deliberate hit, and gives her a stern warning about misusing emergency services. Linda's face is redder than a stop sign, and Tom's grinning from his porch, offering Daniels a coffee. I up the ante with another video, Linda double parking at Starbucks, blocking the fire lane for 20 minutes while she sips her latte. I caption it, "Leading by example. We all have our off days." It goes viral, 250 shares, comments pouring in about Linda's parking fails. She loses it, shows up at my door at 7 a.m., still in her robe, screaming, "You're ruining my life with this cyberbullying." I stay calm, say, "Linda, it's just public footage. Maybe park better. She's yelling so loud kids at the bus stop are staring and misses. Delaney calls the cops, not because I'm in danger, but because Linda's disrupting the whole street. The meltdown's recorded by half the block, and it's the talk of the app for days. Linda's final mistake is going full stalker. She starts posting resident safety profiles, creepy dossiers with photos of us doing normal stuff. Mine's got shots of me mowing my lawn, checking my mail, with captions about my non-compliant tendencies. But when she posts one about Sammy Park, showing him riding his bike, calling his parents negligent, Jenny Park snaps. She files complaints with the HOA and the police, demanding Linda delete the photos. The app explodes. Neighbors are done with her. Our HOA president, Mike Sullivan, calls an emergency meeting in the Parkers' backyard. 30 families show up, and Tom's got a PowerPoint ready. 6 weeks of crash footage, timestamps, angles, the works. It's damning. Neighbors start sharing their own stories. Linda secretly filming kids at pool parties, bullying folks over Christmas lights, even driving one family to move away. Mike drops a bombshell. 5 households left Willow Creek in 2 years because of Linda, and property values are dipping because of her drama. Her standards are tanking the neighborhood. Linda's crashes keep coming. But they're desperate now. One smashes my mailbox and Mrs. Delaney's fence. Neighbors call the cops, and Officer Daniels issues a citation for reckless driving. A petition to boot Linda from the HOA gets 48 signatures in a day, 80% of the street. She's spiraling, posting unhinged rants about conspiracies, but they're barely getting likes. I keep the positive vibes going, organizing dog walks, movie nights, a community garden day. The app's full of our hashtags, #Willow Creek wins, and Linda's complaints are drowning in the noise. 3 weeks later, a moving truck pulls up to Linda's house. She's done. Her last days are pathetic. Standard summit, nobody attends, a barbecue only Mrs. Park stops by to pity her. Her final crash is during the school bus pickup, delaying 20 families. Parents are livid, the school district's involved, and her excuse about my bad bin placement fools no one. On moving day, Tom and I are on his porch, phones ready. Linda's directing the movers like a dictator, live streaming about her exile to 3 viewers. She climbs into her Escalade, checks her mirrors a dozen times, clearly planning a grand exit. Tom whispers, "Bet she hit something." And sure enough, she does. It's poetry. Linda backs out. So focused on looking dignified, she doesn't see her own mailbox. This gaudy, gold-plated thing she bragged about meeting HOA specs. Crunch. Her bumper smashes it flat, mail flying everywhere. Her SUV's sensors screaming. The whole street's watching, recording, trying not to laugh. She sits there, stunned, then gets out, face cycling through shock, rage, humiliation. Her perfect mailbox is toast. Her bumper's dented, and it's all her fault. Tom calls out. Guess some folks never learn to brake, and the street cracks up. Mike Sullivan strolls over, holding a clipboard like Linda used to, and deadpants. Gonna need to document this violation, ma'am. Even I grab a broom, offering to help clean up. But Linda just mutters about equipment failure and slinks away. Her SUV limps off, license plate dangling, and for the first time, she's driving the speed limit. 6 months later, Willow Creek's a different place. We've got weekly events, game nights, group hikes, a kids' art fair. Mike's still HOA president, Tom's running the neighborhood watch, and I'm somehow the guy organizing potlucks and welcoming new folks. Linda's chaos made me the leader she never was, and that's the craziest part. Her need to control, to be the star, burned her out. But it showed me how to build something real, not with fear, but with connection. Looking back, I don't think Linda learned much. She's probably in some new HOA, terrorizing someone else's bins. But me? I learned you don't beat a bully by punching back. You outsmart them, outlast them, let them crash into their own mess. That mailbox moment, it wasn't just funny, it was justice served cold. In front of everyone she tried to rule. So, what do you think? Was Linda just a control freak? Or was there something deeper driving her? Have you dealt with an HOA nightmare like this? Drop a comment. Tell me your story. I'm reading every one. And if you like this ride, hit subscribe for more real-life chaos. Let's keep the conversation going. Who's the Linda in your neighborhood?